In this video, we will continue to talk about lighting in Vantage. We saw in the previous video how we can set up the global illumination and natural light, the sun and the sky, and also how we can address the ambient occlusion. So we're going to continue to talk about lighting, but in this video, we're going to concentrate more on the artificial lights. So we're going to see how we can import lights and how we can use them inside the software. So we saw that global illumination is basically a combination of direct and indirect lighting. So we can essentially use a source of lighting, which can be natural or artificial, and that source of light is going to hit the surface and is not going to stop on that surface. It's going to bounce around. Bouncing around is going to take also the material, some of the colors contained in the material. Well, actually, the material is gonna keep some of the color of the light and it's gonna make it bounce around. So by bouncing around, we're gonna have more realistic results. And also, of course, we can still use ambient occlusion because it's gonna help us to enhance the details of the scene, of the characters, of the architecture, of everything. So ambient occlusion is a really important term, and we're gonna see it also here. And we're still gonna use the denoiser. So we're gonna get rid of the noise inside the scene to have better result, more, well, cleaner results. And also we saw the LUT settings. If we want to do some coloring, we can use LUT settings. We can upload LUT settings from other applications as a LUT file. So we saw that these are parts of the rendering, and we can affect the rendering and the lighting of the scene by using these tools. Now, if you want to change the color a little bit, the overall tint of the scene, you can just work with the lights. Lights are really powerful in terms of changing the color and give that look and feel to the scene. So right now I'm back into this exterior scene, which we can turn from day into night, or we can do like a sunset on dawn, or we can just manage a little bit the color. So right now this is a sunset scene, so it's better to have like a warmer look, but I can change it. I can increase the Kelvin degrees in the temperature. And when talking about lights, increasing the temperature means having a more bluish color, and decreasing the temperature means to have a warmer color. So it's kind of the opposite of what we may think. So if you go in a warehouse, you buy a light, you will always find the Kelvin degrees, which are gonna define the tint of the light. So we can use temperature here in this panel, or we can just change the color and apply a tint. And this is gonna affect everything, because if you are changing here, we are changing the ambient light. The ambient light is gonna affect everything it's inside the scene. So it's a kind of a coloring tool to have like, again, warmer look or a colder look or something else, like something more greenish or whatever. So you can change the overall look of your scene just by addressing the ambient light, or you can just change the sun and the sky. And we saw that by changing the sun position and the sun location right there, we can just address that. We can change here. Let's select the altitude and the azimuth as a position method, and we can see that if I go all the way up, like 90 degrees from the floor, I'm gonna have like a midday light. So it's gonna be less orange, more bluish, because it's gonna be like more, it's gonna have more temperature. But I can also adjust this now, the ambient light. I can have a warmer or a colder look depending on what I want to, what's my message to the viewer. So I can change that. And so I can adjust everything. Everything needs to be balanced. So the skylight, the sunlight, the ambient light, they should work together to have that natural lighting look. But also we will work with in an interior using artificial lights in combination with natural lights. So we have this lights panel which is gonna give us access to all the lights, and we're gonna use it also in other situation. I'm just gonna now quit this scene and start a new one. Just to change the scenario, I'm gonna use an interior instead of an exterior, and I'm gonna use again a VR scene, which I exported from V-Ray from SketchUp. So you need to have V-Ray as a plugin installed in SketchUp or Rhino or 3ds Max in order to export VR scenes. VR scenes are the files that you can import in V-Ray Vision or in VANTAGE to explore and to also manage your scene in case of VANTAGE. So you see here I have exported many different scenes from different software where I installed the V-Ray as a plugin, the V-Ray renderer. And if you're interested in the channel, you will find video courses about 3D software and also about V-Ray for many 3D software. So just look for in the channel or write in the comments if you need assistance or if you want to make some questions. Also, if you want to give suggestions. So in this case, I'm going to use a scene which I exported from SketchUp, and it's going to be an interior, just to show you what is going to happen when you have lights inside your scene. Now you can see this is a really simple scene. It's a really small scene. It has only like a small space that we can use to test our lights. And this is what I suggest you to do at the beginning. If you're not an expert, you can try with small spaces and few lights. Now you can see if I go in the object panels, I will find all the objects that I have imported. And I'm looking for the roof right now because I want to show you the interiors. So I'm gonna click there and select it directly and then find it in the objects panel and just hide it. So you can see there I have an interior. I have that black ground, which is not great, that black pavement. I can change it shortly to make it look better. And also you can see all those yellow lights all on the objects panel are listed, and you can see them also inside the scene. These are like spotlights and other types of lights that you can find in V-Ray. So basically we're just using V-Ray lights, and we can just change now the camera again. I'm just want to show you that by changing the camera, the focal length and the position of the camera, you can have more 2D technical drawings, as also we saw in the previous video. You can use this technique to have like to create plan views or elevations or astrometric views, orthographic views. So you can save also, you can store the cameras that you set up by clicking on the camera button there, so you can get back to those. And you can see that we also have a sun. So I'm just gonna go back to the well, kind of more classic lens here. So if you go in the field of view, you can change it to the focal length, and the most popular are probably 35 millimeters or 50 millimeters. But you can see there, if you change the focal length again, you need to use the scroll wheel to go back and forward. So it's just a matter of using the scroll wheel to zoom and the focal length or field of view to create a more telescopic lens or panoramic lens. So you can see we also have a sunlight here. So we can use a combination of sunlight, which is going to be our natural lights, and the ambient light, and also the artificial lights that we imported. So it's all a matter of how you set up your scene in the software that you're using together with SketchUp. So if you use V-Ray for SketchUp, you can have all the tools to create lights inside there, and then you can bring it into VANTAGE, or you can use VR scenes. So I'm just gonna move inside, just using the WASD keys just to navigate inside. And of course I can explore also this scene using the collision and the first person look as I did previously. But this time I just want to concentrate on lights. You can see now I can turn on the